Okay, according to this, I'm alive. Now, I don't know whether there's doctors over there saying or what, but according to that, I'm alive. And so is my friend Lucy. Right, Lucy? Lucy. 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 There's a little twitch to her tail you can't notice because it's running down between her legs. She's not moving, but she's there. she's, I hope she's all right. I don't know. Little, I take care of her as best I can. All right. Now, I did post a regular video today, but I don't think I'm going to do it for every day because it's just it interferes with, and I have trouble coming up with two different topics to talk about. So I end up talking about the same topic in both places, and it's different. You're trying to keep the language and everything the same, but it's not easy because I don't write anything down, other than the fact the topic's name. All right. So anyhow, here we go with the agreement. That's between Iran and the United States over there. And nobody's read a draft of it, but apparently there's nothing about the nukes in there. So that's Trump didn't get that. And according to what I saw an interview with a guy who was around when Obama made the original deal, and he said that as far as he's concerned, this is a worse deal if it goes through. And he says he doesn't think it's going to go through. But he's saying that for as far as the United States is concerned, this is a much worse deal than the Obama deal, where they supposedly sent plane loads of money over there. But you had peace for a long time until Trump decided he was going to nuke their facilities, and then we've had war since then. But there was no evidence that they were selling the stuff, so they want a nuclear weapon, they're going to get it. You can't stop shit like that. It's who was the guy that said it? I don't know who said it, or if it was just a literary comment. That once you open the box up and it's out of the box, you can't do a damn thing. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's just going to spread. It's like fascism. You see it spreading all over the world now because it looks successful in the United States for Trump. And if you have a leader that's got the same kind of mindset, that's screw the little guy, and let's just get rich, and you got fascism spreading. That's how he's spreading it. He's spreading it by making it look like it's a very profitable thing to deal with. And I guess it is for a government. It's not too profitable if you're just the average guy on the street because you can lose everything. Housekeeping time. I know. I do it because I don't get to near my computer except when I'm on here, really. You know, and you're trying to do something and you look down, you notice there's all that hair doing on my computer, and my keyboard or whatever. Who knows? I told you this is live, folks. Okay, so if I wander, suck it up. That's what I do. Okay, you just got to understand that this is not all about you. It's about what I want to do. Okay, it's a Trump attitude. No, it's not. Anyhow. Okay, so the agreement is I don't trust anything that Donald says, first of all, and I don't trust anything the Ayatollahs over there say. So I have no idea what's going on. It's a temporary respite, which allows the billionaires to make a few more dollars. So, this is going to go on for a while. I don't know how long it'll last, even if it's a couple of months. It allows everybody to make some money. Iran could buy some more weapons and stuff and restock their underground. They said that some of their missile sites underground are what they call hardened defensively better than the nuke sites were. So I don't know. And then they didn't get to the nukes. So who knows? All right. Let's see. We got a scumbag running around in the Americas. Don't know where exactly the state is. I forgot to write that down. But you know me, it's live, dudes. I'm 80 years old. What the fuck you want from me? Anyhow, dude, he's selling raw milk. Okay, and people are getting sick from it, and the government knows about it. The state and the feds both know about it, and they're doing absolutely nothing. Because I don't think it's rich people getting sick. See, you got to understand that the way our government is set up right now, you and I don't count. Now I don't count at all because I don't even live in the United States anymore. But I'm going to get affected by this, the end of Social Security and everything if I live that long. Oh boy, I can't walk now. I can see myself then. My wife can't walk either. So we're a couple of really, wonderful human beings here. Uh, but raw milk, I guess some people think it's healthy, and like I said, at one point in time, before they pasteurize, what it is, it's unpasteurized, so it's full of crap, and a lot of people are getting sick. Now, as soon as people start dying, and then if they don't still, if the government still doesn't do something about it, somebody will probably go shoot this guy, and then we'll have a big scandal about that. Americans love scandals. Even the legitimate newspapers and magazines that are still in existence love scandals. Okay, that's called yellow journalism. I forgot the guy's name that started that. I remember reading all those stories in history books and whatnot about yellow journalism and whatnot. All right, now here's a strange one. A skydiving plane crashed and killed 12 people. Now, I don't know what the inside of that looks like. I don't know whether they could have got to the door or not, but you've got 12 people inside, all got parachutes on, and nobody got out of the plane. So either this plane went into a nosedive, which means it's quite possible suicide by pilot, or something along those lines. I don't know. You have to really go look at these things once in a while to know what's going down, And I read the story. It doesn't make any sense to me. When you 12 people with parachutes, they're skydivers. Why didn't somebody get out of the plane? Maybe it was low altitude. I don't know. I didn't see that in the story. I'll have to, maybe they didn't know what altitude it crashed from. But you know, I don't believe it ran into a tree, though. You know what I mean? And our good buddy J.D. Vance, who, by the way, right now is the top government official headed to sign the agreement on Friday. They don't know whether Trump will show up or not. I don't think he should. But, they don't like him over there. There's a whole lot, the security, whatever. Not even the Saudi Arabians like this clown anymore. Nobody likes this guy, really. They use him. They use his position. They use his money. They use his words. But personally, I don't think anybody likes this son of a bitch anymore. I don't think his mother would like him if she still. Well, she didn't like him when she died. So Now you got the Ebola thing going on. Now, it's an epidemic, or not an epidemic, but it's what they call an outbreak in Congo. All right. Now, let me throw this out at you. Do you remember when AIDS was a big epidemic? Okay, especially in that because it came from monkeys originally. All right. So they ate the same thing with this stuff. It's coming off of monkey meat. All right. Ebola, same deal. So which means that it affects black people more than it does anybody else in the black countries more than it does the United States. It hasn't affected it. There's no cases of Ebola in the United States at this moment, unless they're being treated. They were brought here for treatment, which means they're rich. So obviously they get brought here for treatment. But with Ebola, it's the same thing as with the AIDS deal. The AIDS deal was, hey, it only affects gays. What are you getting excited about? They didn't think straight people could get it, Well, guys like hookers, and hookers will screw anything, So drug addicts, you get it, they didn't realize you could get it from a needle. So all of a sudden it was a big deal, so then they had to do something about it. But before that, it was simply a disease that affected drug users and gays. So who gives a shit, Took a long time for everything to get done with AIDS. The people suffered a long time that wasn't necessary because of the stigma that was attached to it. They didn't care. There were no rush to get rid of it. It was getting rid of people they didn't like anyhow. Well, the same thing's going on with Ebola. It affects black countries, so who cares? They just sit back. Yeah, we get a few cases of white people eating monkey meat in this country, and then you'll see some problems going on. People are so fucking stupid. Now I have no idea. Trump's Trump's fund. That's what it was. That fund that he has for paying all the people, rewarding all the people from January 6th and everything. What a dickhead. He says it's not dead yet, and the judge said yes, it is. And he put the injunction back into effect indefinitely. So they're going to have to do some tough legalese to get that back. We'll see there. It's that thing, and who knows? And then the reflecting pool, which was I don't know who got involved in this, but these weren't pool people that were repaired it. They changed it over to give it a blue hue. They repainted the whole bottom of drain and everything like that. Well, guess what? Algae's back. Let me tell you something. I have fountains. I've had fountains, fish tanks, and everything. Always around water, some sort of water thing going on. And unless you have the right chemicals and unless you use them, algae is going to show up. Because the stuff that blows in there, you got to have filters. That water's got to be constantly moving and filtered, because otherwise, I show you what happens. I've got a water fountain going on outside, and even with the water fountain going constantly, the dirt that's in the air will scare you. The dirt that would scare you. Really, you're breathing this crap. Because I am basically living there's always some sort of construction going on around us. This is a brand new, basically this country's getting new and newer, and so they're always tearing down the old and rebuilding it and putting up new. You got people that have a 2-story house, and all of a sudden they get this idea, well, I can make some money here. They get a bank loan, tear it down, rebuild it, build it back up 3, 4, 5, 6 stories high, and rent rent everything out, and they're sitting there, making money. They don't have to work anymore. They're sitting in their apartment watching Jeopardy or something, instead of going to work, and they like that till the shit starts happening. And shit always happens, But that's with the pool, the algae came back. Now this is a big deal because he's just. He made money on that deal. Gave it to some friends of him, and he didn't give it to pool people, professional pool people. He gave it to a road repair company, or a company that specializes in that kind of work, fixing roads and stuff like that. And they wanted, because it was so big, they thought it was easier that way, Neither company's going to come in and spray this shit all over the place. That's how they get it down. They spray it up there. It's the other stuff you use. And it's the contamination of the water that you're using. Where are they getting the water from? The Potomac? Well, Potomac's fucking polluted, man. And that used to be a great smallmouth bass fishery, but it's polluted. So, like everything else. The government and the human beings, forget the government at this point in time where this is concerned. Human beings have this tendency to take resources for granted: air, water, food, gasoline. They don't think we're ever going to run out of it. We're going to run out of oil eventually. That's why the people are looking to get to Mars and the moon and whatnot. That'll be a bunch of oil. They find oil on the moon. The moon will be full of. It will look like one of those a mace from the middle with all the spikes on it. Because there'll be all the oil wells all over the place. As soon as they figure out how to do it, they'll do it. And that's ridiculous. What they're doing, and they need to do it because they need the energy sources up on the moon and Mars and whatnot. If they move there, is now it's actually helping renewable energy sources. You know, these companies that are actually doing renewable energy, like solar panels and stuff like that, even wind power. You know, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So listen up, check out my other video. You know, if I get enough people watching that first, then I'll do that. I might increase the amount of times I do it. Just check every day, because I don't know when. You know, if I have something to do, I'm not going to do it, because I'm going to do what I had to do. You know, so it's not going to be a before 11. It'll be after 11. It'll be after this, and you know, who wants to see me after they've seen me like this? You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, you guys all take care. Um, Hit the subscribe buttons wherever you see them, especially on the uploaded videos, because that gets I know you get notifications when I'm uploaded a video, so they're supposed to. Anyhow, if you don't, let me know. Uh, it won't do me any good. YouTube hates me now, so because I won't pay them. Well, they won't take my credit card. They, you know, because it's from the United States, it has to be from Colombia, and Colombia's credit cards don't give out security codes. So that's a battle that we're having right now. Anyhow, everybody take care, and I will see you definitely here live tomorrow. Take care now. Bye. Bye.